Chris mentioned the Mark Maron podcast. His stories about Sam Kinison are legendary. Pissing excellence, fellas. Great show. So
Wow.
we're pissing excellence. And I'm
surprised I can piss at all with my swollen prostate.
Okay. That's our last show ever, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
All right, guys. This is going to start some controversy, I'm sure.
Here we go.
And you're like, whoa, dudes, you guys dropped a new episode on a Friday? 2
What are you
days
doing?
after 2 days after your regular episode? That's right.
We're giving you a little handle that much. I can't get that much two heads in me.
Bonus.
Yeah.
4 heads now. four heads. We both got large foreheads. I've watched a couple movies. We should maybe talk. I watched a few of your recommendations, actually.
Oh, which ones?
I watched the original 12 Angry Men.
And?
It's a little slow.
Oh!
I mean, there's some great actors in there. I appreciate the fact that it's literally, with the exception of the courtroom right in the beginning, one location.
I find it quite compelling.
A lot of sweating. There's a lot of sweating.
Yeah, a lot of sweating.
Great actors. I mean, what a cast. I was sitting there like picking out how many of those guys have been in Twilight Zone episodes, I remember it. I liked it. Will I ever watch it again? No. But I liked it. Right. It's
what
worth
else
watching.
Did you watch?
I watched Sorcerer last night.
Ooh. William Friedkin?
Yeah.
Roy Scheider. And?
Boy, not what I was thinking it was going to be. I had no idea. I had no clue what it was about. I've never looked into what this movie was about. No, I enjoyed it. Not what I expected. The ending is a real bummer.
Yeah.
But
I love it. I thought the idea of them having to transport nitroglycerin in these trucks, is just mind-blowing to me and funny but then it just turns into this weird fever dream, bizarre, just insanity. And I love how weird it is. It's just a strange movie. Anyway, so what else? You watched Sorcerer? What else?
Oh, I watched a movie called Spree, which stars the kid who plays the boyfriend in Stranger Things, the one who works the ice cream Scoops Ahoy. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. And basically Spree is like Uber, and this kid drives for Spree, and he sets cameras all up in his car, and he's trying to become a social media star, and he basically starts killing people to try to gain followers. It's ridiculous, but it's well made. I appreciate the fact that it's original idea, and it's well executed. It's borderlining on American Psycho territory. Like, it's ridiculous, but it's good. I enjoyed it. I probably won't ever watch it again. It was worth watching, so I'd recommend it. It was fun. You watch anything new?
I watched The King of Staten Island.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
The Judd Apatow movie. I liked it. It took me a while to figure out what kind of movie it was first. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, is this comedy? Is this drama? Because it's shot like a drama, like a gritty documentary-ish style drama. And there's a lot of heavy, dark storylines in it. But then you realize it's a comedy. And like, there's a lot of funny shit in it. And then once you catch the rhythm of it, there's some really funny stuff in it.
It's just too long.
Too long. That's my only problem. It was 2 hours and I think 27 minutes or something. I would have liked it more if it was short. It didn't need to be that long. Like if you cut it down to an hour and a half, maybe even hour 40, I'd have given it a better review. But it's not bad. It's a good watch, but way too long.
Well, I had mentioned something to you that I had watched. You said you were going to watch it, but I'm sure you didn't.
I didn't get to it.
Oh, okay.
Surf
2. I don't know if anybody's seen Surf 2.
Yeah.
But I saw this in the theater when it came out, and I want to say it came out in 83, I think.
I can look it up.
It's a ridiculous movie about a nerdy guy played by Eddie Deason who picked on by surfers. So he develops this soda called Buzz Cola that basically turns them into zombies, but not like zombies eating flesh zombies. They're just like zombies that are like punk rockers.
1984.
84, that was close. Yeah, so they're like punk rock zombies. And it has Tom Villard from Popcorn the Movie and One Crazy Summer. It has can't remember his name, but he was the dude that was doing the handstand and gets chopped in half by Jason in Friday 13th Part 3. That guy's in it. Ruth Buzzy is in it.
Ruth Buzzy. I love me some Buzz.
Yeah, and Buzz Cola too. There's a whole lot of Buzz in this movie.
A lot of Buzz.
Ron Palillo is in it. Again, it's funny, Ruth Buzzy and Ron Palillo, also both in Skate Town, USA. Was there a connection? I don't know. But it's a completely ridiculous film. Oh, and I can't believe I'm forgetting. Eric Stoltz is one of the leads.
Eric Stoltz, yeah.
And Eric Stoltz literally looks like he came off the set of Fast Times and played the same character in a different movie. And it's fun. It is a really ridiculous film, but it's fun. And I enjoyed it. It's got a great soundtrack, dude. It's got like an original unreleased song from Oingo Boingo. Also, there was a different version of Only a Lad in there, like a demo version.
Oh.
Some other.
I'm gonna watch that tonight. You make it sound so entertaining and fun.
It is entertaining. It's so stupid. It's entertaining, and it just. For me, growing up in Orange County in general, like I spent most of my childhood at Huntington Beach Pier. It reminded me of that time, you know, that sort of beach life and just ridiculous surfer nonsense. And it's fun. It's goofy. It's got a great soundtrack, which I immediately wanted to find the soundtrack because in the end credits, it says soundtrack on Capitol Records and Tapes. I looked it up to come to find out it never got made because apparently the movie came out first and was a total flop. You bring out a movie called Surf 2.
Right.
I mean, not the number 2, like Roman numeral 2, and there was never a Surf 1. It was just trying to be so stupid, you know. People didn't get it. It didn't do well. And anyway, I recommend it, but you can't find it's only been released on VHS. It's never been on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray, but you can watch it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Somebody uploaded it. So that's where awesome. I watched it. I watched it on YouTube.
I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to watch it tonight.
I also watched a documentary called Class Action Park, which was about
Is that the water slide one?
Water park in New Jersey in the 80s and 90s that was just insane. It's worth watching, man, because
I got another friend of mine, Jeff Himmel, he texted me about a week ago going, you got to see this documentary about this water slide thing. He told me to watch. I didn't get to it, but he told me it was good too.
Yeah. I mean, the documentary itself is okay. Right. But the footage of the stuff that was at this water park.
Is it people getting hurt and dying and shit? I don't want to see that shit.
No, you don't see that, but they tell you about people getting hurt and dying.
Okay.
But you're not going to see someone getting hurt and dying.
Okay. I just don't want to see that shit.
No. Hungry Wives is back.
Hungry Wives.
Only good thing about Halloween Kills being delayed is that much like Halloween 2018's release date lined up with the 40th anniversary of the original of the new release date now lines up with the 40th anniversary of Halloween 2.
Oh.
And assuming Halloween Ends comes out as they're scheduled, that'll be the 40th anniversary of Halloween 3. Wow. It'd be nice if the marketing would tie that in like it did last time and we get some cool merch to mark the occasion. Anyway, can't wait for part 2 of the interview. You guys are natural at this. I highly doubt they're going to tie in the original Halloween 2 or 3 to any of the marketing for the new films since they're acting like they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So, but you never know. There could be 40th anniversary merch, we hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Calm Down Rich. Another great show, fellas. Christopher, now that the Vin Scully has joined Twitter, are you going to think about signing up?
No, I hate Twitter.
Okay.
I'm not doing Twitter. I tried Twitter back in the day, and I just don't get it.
Isn't Vin Scully dead? Is he dead? I
thought so. That's why that one confused me.
Yeah.
Isn't Vin Scully dead?
I'm looking it up.
Not dead. What? Nothing. Here's your ninepence. I'm not dead.
No, he's alive.
Is he?
He says he's not dead. Yes, he is. I'm not. He isn't. Well, he will be soon. He's very ill. I'm getting better. No.
Yeah.
Oh, good for Vin, man.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Vin.
Not trying to put you in the ground too soon or anything.
Don't want to do that.
Tony Floyd said It's so cool that you guys are Floyd fans. Animals is the best, and early Sid Barrett Floyd is killer. Check them out. I'm a big fan of Animals. I love Animals. I love Wish You Were Here. I even like Final Cut a great deal, but the Sid Barrett era, I cannot get into.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Although I am fascinated at the fact that he went insane. Because
I am fascinated with that too, but I don't really like psychedelic music.
No, I'm not really crazy about that either.
But I do love me some Animals. Michael Woofenden. It's like Woofin, like the movie Woofin and Den. Woofin.
John Cocktosen.
Another great episode. Thanks, fellas. Look forward to this every week. Do you guys make Halloween playlists every year? What are your must-hear tracks each season? Mine is Get Down Goblin by Jan Terry, an absolute classic. Also, you should try to get Danny McBride on here. Thanks, guys. Oh, what do you think?
Yeah.
You think Danny would do? No,
Nope.
No chance? Really? No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Do you have any go-to songs if you make a playlist?
We have, I have CDs, Halloween compilations. A good one is like Haunted Mansion stuff is great. I enjoy listening to that. I mean, there's tons.
I do have a
hate
playlist.
These questions. I hate these questions.
I have playlists, and I've made a Halloween one that has my favorite soundtrack pieces. It has Haunted Mansion stuff. It has songs from bands like Goblin or Ghastly Ones.
I listen to a lot of Goblin and the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack.
I love Dawn of the Dead soundtrack. Ghastly Ones. Any of those horror type bands, Creature Feature. If there's a few songs I like, I'll pop them into my. There's actually a ton of Ghastly Ones in my Halloween playlist. I was a big Ghastly Ones fan. I'm very grateful to Norman for letting us use one of their songs for our intro.
He would be very happy to hear that the Ghastly Ones are part of everyone's Halloween soundtrack. If you don't know the Ghastly Ones, check them out. They're great. It's a good buddy of mine, Norman Cabrera, who's coming over tomorrow. Actually, it's his birthday, so we're going to be celebrating Norman's birthday. But I love the Ghastly Ones. They were great.
Oh, so yes. So we have guitarist of Shinedown, Zach Myers, on the show, a friend of ours.
He's a super nice guy, and the three of us have become good
buddies.
Friends.
Yeah.
And we're super stoked to have him. And we're going to rank the Halloween franchise for you, everybody. It's going to cause a controversy. You're not going to believe it. Surprises unfolding right in front of your eyes right about now. Curveballs. You're not going to be. And we have Zach, and you're going to be impressed by Zach's knowledge of the Halloween franchise. So here he is, everybody.
There you go. Yeah. Dude, look at all those fucking guitars. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Holy
man.
crap.
We're in the guitar room.
Wow. And the Myers mask room.
And the Myers mask room. Yeah.
Look at you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, man. What's going on? Good to see you fellas.
How are you, Zach? Thanks for coming and doing this, man.
Yeah, man. I'm good. It's good to talk about things that aren't music for once in the last 8 months.
Oh, we were going to talk about music.
Okay, we can do that too.
No.
So today we've invited Zach on the show because in addition to being a famous rock star guitarist, he is a avid hardcore Halloween fan.
And I almost was going to wear my Halloween. I have obviously every Trick or Treat studio shirt.
Come on, bro.
And I thought about doing it, but I was like, is it too much?
No.
Is it too on the nose? You were thinking, do you wear the concert shirt of the band to the band show?
To the concert.
Don't be that guy.
What is this? You're going to wear this to the show. You're going to wear the shirt of the band you're going to go see. Don't be that guy.
By the way, Christopher Nelson, we talked about this in text, but your beard, 2 thumbs up. Also,
Thanks,
your
buddy.
shirt, 2 thumbs up.
Thanks, buddy.
What a great shirt.
The Oneaters.
Yep.
I love the Oneaters.
One of the best musical movies of all time.
It really is. We talked about that on one of our shows. I love
Amazing.
They filmed a lot of it not too far from my house.
Did they?
Yeah, the Orange Circle. It's Old Town
Oh, okay.
Orange, and it's where the store was he worked at and everything.
Do those buildings still look like that? Are they still like vintagey looking? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I figured they just backlotted that.
No, it's all real place. You can go check it out.
That's awesome.
It's cool. There's all these great antique stores there. I go there all the time.
Can you do a horrors hallowed grounds on that thing you do?
I could.
No.
I mean, well, I'll do Hollywood's Hallowed Grounds. That's my new thing.
There you go.
That's my.
I want to be in that. I want to go to that one. I want to be.
A part of that one too. Yeah.
I love that movie so much.
And we go to Disneyland just like Ethan did. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they rode. They were riding the Big Thunder Mountain.
Matterhorn.
Was it the Matterhorn? Yeah.
I think it was Matterhorn. Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know you guys California Disney rides.
Technically, I mean, yeah, I don't remember which one it was in the movie, but yeah, Big Thunder wouldn't have been opened in that time period.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Because it was the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Thunder opened in the 80s.
Thanks for the compliment on the beard. I love, my beard. And I was playing your guitar the other day. And
thank you.
As you know, and that is a sweet fucking guitar, man. That it's like
I remember
like butter.
being told I was getting a guitar, and
you are getting a guitar. It's just they shut down Maryland way longer than we thought they were going to shut down Maryland for. So the guitar company still hasn't gotten me. I owe you a guitar. I owe one of my brothers a guitar. And one of my best friends got married, and I got to send him a guitar too. So I'm waiting on 3 to get here, but you're still getting one.
Okay, I'll just fucking.
I should probably send Jim Courtney one too.
Nah.
I'll actually see him next week.
Oh, he told me he's going to see you guys at a drive-in or something.
Yeah, we're playing the Philadelphia Phillies stadium. It's like a drive-in show, so they're gonna come out, Jim and Sarah, and it'll be cool.
That's awesome.
Good to see them.
That's cool.
Bring him up there, make him wear the mask.
I tried. So we played in Charleston. We played in, or not Charleston, somewhere in South Carolina. He came out. You know this, and I know me and Chris talked about this. I'm such a big fan of the character. So, I don't want to see people on the set like him and Han and joking around. Like when they're like, I want you to be this guy. So he told me about this kind of place that he has to go to do it. And I super respected it in my head. I was like, man, that's really cool that you take it so seriously. And then I was like, hey, you should do a guitar change because I have all these masks on the side stage. Not even thinking about it. He just told me he had to go to this really dark place. Hey, I know you're here having a good night, but hey, how about you go to this really dark place and just hand me a guitar in front of 11,000 people? By the way, he didn't do it.
That'd have been awesome. Yeah, I heard that he was saying, or you were telling me, you got your Myers mask on your rig on the side of the stage.
Yeah, I got 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, Sean came out. Yeah, so a couple of them. I have a couple just rehauled trick or treat ones, and then I have a couple one that are custom makers that made me stuff. A lot of fans bring me masks, which I think is really cool.
Really?
And, so yeah, it's been really nice to people will bring stuff, and some of it's good, and some of it's kind of really thin, weird. Party City.
Right.
They're like, oh, I heard you love Halloween masks, and they'll bring me one. I'm like, oh, cool, and that just goes to my son.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few of those.
What was it that something I was just what was it back in the day or the beginning? Why such a Halloween guy? What was your intro? Yeah, where did it all start?
I know Sean, I think, knows this. Maybe you may know. My name is Michael Myers. That's my real name. That's my birth name. Michael Zachary. Yeah. So.
Right.
Wow.
It was always that, and then my parents, for some reason, let me watch that movie at 7, which seems like a weird thing to do, but it was the 80s, so it's whatever. But yeah, I always was enamored with the faceless. I was never scared by Freddy. I was never scared by Jason. I would watch those movies at a young age, and and no offense to those franchises, it didn't get me the way this character did. And it was something about this could be anybody. And it's just a faceless guy with a white, and there's the music. I think all of it played a part in it. Right. I think, you made the greatest horror film of all time first try. As I kind of grew up and the movies were coming out, as I could watch them in real time, it was really cool. And even looking back, I really loved some of those movies that now, as I make this list, I look back and go, maybe they weren't as good as I thought they were as a kid. But as a kid, they were coming out in real time. So I was like, man, these are really great. But I think it was just I think it was just a culmination of all the things, right? The music, the attitude of it. I don't love gore. I love masks, and I love the shadows, and I love the famous Carpenter quote, everybody knows what a guy with a knife's going to do, to me is one of my favorite things ever, because it's like, you don't have to show everything. Like the theater of the mind thing is always really cool to me, and I've always dug that. Like what did happen, So.
And we don't need effects guys. We don't.
No.
Those,
I listen. I told Chris
I'm with
day.
you. Let's get rid of that shit.
I told Chris the other day. I was like, I go, man, because he sent me a picture of a mask that he was working on, which may be in the background right now. I'm not sure. It looked like it might have been in the background. But
oh yeah.
I was just enamored. I'm enamored with what he does. To A, think of it, and then B, you got to make it, or either the vice, switch those either way you want. But I've always loved that. I've always loved the art of creating. So like, I think I took him off guard when I told him I was enamored by kind of what he does, because like I can't to think of that and try to create something out of nothing. With the mask, obviously you have a starting point, but I think that 2018 Masks was one of the best in the arc of all the movies, because it kept it real to what the mask is, and it wasn't trying to be this. Some of the masks were way oversized and they just look weird. And I know, those zombie ones to me, I didn't love. And I know Tyler's a very large man, so he needs a very large mask. But yeah, I think that what Chris does is fantastic. And, I'm jealous and wish I could work in that way of art.
Oh, well, you do, just in other ways. But it was a blast. I mean, Zach came to the set of Halloween, because I know, Sean, you did too, but Zach came and had a great time. It was really interesting too, because you're serious about this movie. You're serious about this Halloween business. He's not fucking around. He didn't show up on set and was like, hey, I'm just going to goof off and be on a movie. He didn't care about that. He was drinking in everything about what we were doing. Like, he was serious about it. He was serious about not fucking with Jim. He was serious about the mask. He was serious about the sets. He was serious about, it was actually really refreshing. I was kind of like, wow, this guy, he knows his shit.
Well, man, I'd already met so many people to do with the movies in the past, and Scout and I dated after the Rob Zombie Halloween stuff. But like, other people will maybe look at that and kind of snicker about, but like, it's something I take very seriously, man. Like this franchise means a lot to me. As silly as that may sound to someone who has nothing to do with it, or is just, a haphazard fan of this franchise, like, I've always taken the character seriously. It's like, so for me to be on set is something I had a dream of when I was a kid. Like, I can't imagine being on the set of one of these, to see the background of it. And then I remember I was there for 2.5 days, and I remember the second day was the only time where I got to see Jim in the mask, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it was like, it put me in such a weird place that I can't even explain, like partly scared, partly enamored. I was just like, whoa, man, like this is like, it's real now. Like, it was like, I was there the whole time and I was really taken into account. And honestly, the people on the set of that, I know, Sean, you went on different times there. I think they were doing a lot of outside stuff when you were there, and we were on a set just to see what I saw. I'm not going to say what I saw, but to see where we were standing was so surreal, man. And just to be a part of it and take it all in. And, I wasn't there to fanboy. I was there to really kind of see what these people had done, and what a fantastic job they did, man. Truly. I'm so bummed it got pushed back, just because I know what I saw. So like, I can't wait to see it.
I had the exact same feeling my first time on a Halloween set. I was on set for Rob's first movie, 2007. I probably visited set maybe 5 times because they were shooting in South Pasadena. So I was added to the call sheet thing. So I got their location.
You could just go. Yeah.
I was just going.
Up,
I'm just showing up. Yeah. And dude, yeah, I was just hanging back watching, and just like, first time seeing Michael Myers, in person, watching it happen in front of me. I was geeking out so hard.
It's crazy to see, man. I remember, I was on tour a lot in that time, and I was home with the kids, and I got the invite, and my wife was the one that was just like, just go. You're literally going to hate yourself if you don't go. So I didn't even really have time to go, but I was like, I have to do this. So I flew myself to Wilmington, got home with like a day and then had to fly back out on tour. So but it was, man, like you said, to see it and be a part of it is a whole different thing. And honestly, my big worry was, and I think I told Chris this on set, I was really worried that it was maybe going to take away the lure, like maybe pull back the curtain a little bit too much. It really didn't. It almost invigorated me more because I was like, wow, like it wasn't a hokey set, man. I think I was on set for some big days. So I know that, you know, there was a lot of like emotion going on. A lot of people were taking their job very seriously. And I respect that, man. I you know, like I said, as being such a fan of the series and taking it so seriously, to see the work ethic that crew had in that environment was amazing.
I was so bummed I couldn't go when they were doing 2018.
Yeah.
I had a full open invite to come, and I was literally had 2 back-to-back shows in Australia, Melbourne and Sydney, and then went there straight to a 7-day Walking Dead cruise that went to the Bahamas. And by the time I got home, they were wrapping. And I was so pissed I couldn't make it. So this time I was like, I'm not missing it. I carved out 4 days, flew in, and I spent 3 nights on set. And it was just a blast. I was mainly hanging with Chris most of the time. I really, you know, would just hang in the trailer with you. And then we'd go, you know, when they needed him, we'd go do our thing and watch him do his thing rather. But yeah, such a blast, man. It's so much fun. And now I'm so depressed that I don't think we're going to get
it kills me, man.
You know, we're not going to be able to go to do ends because they're going to be crazy with the COVID nonsense. They're not going to let visitors come. I know it.
I know. Well, if they do, you and I are going to go together.
Okay.
Time. But yeah, it was the same thing, man, with me, like being on set. Like, you know, there's very few people, you know, that I hit it off with, like Chris and I hit it off. And it was kind of just like, it was weird, man. I was like instant friends.
Mm.
And it was like we had a lot of the same things in common. It's like I love that he plays music like while he's doing his job. Like to me, that's like a super cool, important thing to like what I do. And so just like I've known a couple people who were working on the movie, obviously Jim and a couple the other actors. But like when Chris and I met, it was just like, oh, cool, we're gonna be friends. Like this is gonna be like an obvious thing. So and then I didn't even know I had known Chris for like a couple weeks before I realized that he was the cop in one because he had the beard when I met him. I was like, oh, that's the dude. I was like, he's the guy. With the display behind you, I can see of your
there he is.
Decapitated head.
Pumpkin head.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, a lot of people don't recognize because I didn't have the beard and I combed my hair down and parted it.
Yeah.
I remember when David Gordon Green, on the day that we were going to shoot that, I came in and David goes, well, you got to shave that beard and we got to do something about your hair. You can't have a mohawk or whatever. And I was like, oh, so I went to the makeup trailer, shaved my beard off, you know, combed my hair down to the side and everything. I walked on set and David goes, nobody recognized me. I went to set and I had the cop uniform on. I went to craft service first to get a cup of coffee because it was nighttime and it was cold and I was tired. I was like, I need a cup of coffee before I go to set. Go to the craft service. Craft service guy goes, this is for crew only. You can't, there's no extras are allowed to be feeding out. There's an extras table somewhere else. And I was like, it's me. I'm like, and they were like, Chris? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh my God. So I look up and then I got to set and David goes, holy crap, you look so different. He goes, I like this version. You look tamer, like more approachable. I'm like,
more approachable.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but all right.
That's kind of odd. I love the fact that you told that story though, that you went to the makeup trailer, but you did all this stuff. You shaved your own beard. You did your own hair. That's a real crew out here. There's like, no, I'm not going to make the rest of my crew do all this stuff. I'm just going to do it myself.
Nobody touches Chris's hair. Nobody touches.
No one touches the shelf.
It's not allowed.
Yeah.
No one touches the shelf, man.
So I got to ask you, Zach, since you just mentioned it, you dated Scout, you said.
Yeah.
So, okay. So as a Halloween fan, how did that happen? And also, for those that don't know, one of the things we're doing today is we're ranking the Halloween films from best to worst. And I don't know how your relationship ended, and will that have any effect on those rankings of her films?
It won't have any. It hasn't had any effect of me making the list. Will it have an effect after I say the list? Maybe.
Oh.
No, was one of those things where we had mutual friends, and we had just kind of become friends and started talking online. And I was in and out of LA a lot back then, and so we had just met and started hanging out, and it was cool, man. It was a quick summer thing, man. It was, it wasn't this long-term relationship thing, and we still have a great relationship, man. Like she's still a friend of mine. We still will chat every once in a while. She always will reply about the kids. I got 2 boys, and she's like, they're so cute. And I know she does a lot with kids. She teaches kids acting, and she does all these things. So we're yeah, man, we still get along great. There was no real bad blood there ever. So it was we were both really young. This is 12 years ago.
Was this right after Rob's movie, or
this is in between the 2 movies? There's a skeptical timeline there because of other things that were going on in both of our lives. But yeah, it was right after the first one, I think. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Between 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, talk about awkward for me to rank these movies, because I work with somebody in every one of these movies.
Yeah, for sure. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
How many people have you ranked them with so far? This is the first time.
I've never done
first time.
Okay, I didn't know if you were doing with this every guest.
Oh
no.
Okay, so well, my question was going to be, did everyone do 78 as number 1? And then my second question is, are we putting 3 in these movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I have 2 lists. I have one with 3 because 3 to me is an amazing horror movie.
Yeah.
If it wasn't called Halloween, so it's like I love 3, but yeah, okay. I was just wondering. So I feel honored. I'm the first.
Yeah.
I get to hear your rankings for the first time. I'm very excited because I used to, before we met, I would watch all the Horror's Hallowed Ground stuff about all the Halloween stuff. So it's cool I'm very interested to see what your list is on this.
Oh boy.
I'm more excited for your list than I am for my list. Chris, are you doing it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do this.
Assuming
no, I'm gonna fuck off. I'm gonna fuck off while you 2 guys.
I'm gonna go sculpt a bust of Zach in this Tom Petty shirt.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that while you guys are. I'm just do it right here.
All right.
So we'll just go ahead and get this out of the way right now.
All right.
Chris's number 1 is 2018.
Of course.
No, so we thought it would be best to go to the favorite to the worst, because obviously
you don't want to start with the worst, then you're starting off negative.
Yeah, but we all know which one's the best. We might as well just who wants to
Everyone knows 78 is their number 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you're not gonna count backwards, knowing where it's gonna end.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows where it's gonna end.
So Sean, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do now we already know what the best one is. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Do you want to go like each person say their number 2, then their number 3?
Yeah, what we should probably do is maybe a different person each time will be the first person to kick off the next.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll go from person to person. So
all right. Are we chatting about the movies as we do it? Okay,
yeah, great. I don't think we need to chat about part 1. We all know it's a perfect movie.
Well, come on, we gotta touch on it.
We don't.
I think we just do what comes natural. We yap about it, and we'll cut out what sucks.
We can easily yap about one because there's definitely going to be some we shouldn't yap about because everything that's going to come out is bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go on record right now before we start this and say, and this is where I get cut out of the whole conversation. I think people might misunderstand me about this. This is where Sean goes that way.
This is where
I love carpet.
How do I put this without? It doesn't matter.
It's going to edit it all anyway. Go ahead.
I love lamp.
Do you really love the lamp, or are you just saying it because you saw it?
I love lamp. I love lamp.
Everyone deal with it.
No, go ahead.
I'm not a huge fan of the entire series. I'm really not.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Not. And I love
Zach's face.
I love
that was so natural too. I didn't mean to make that face.
That's what people don't know about me. You'll be surprised. I love and know everything I can about the first three.
Right now,
I
Zach's
know
like,
them. I know them. That's all it's to me, that's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I've seen them all. I've seen them all a few times. I know them.
I'd hope so.
I'm just not, I know them very well, but they're really, we'll get to
yeah,
them.
you're
But
gonna
I'm
get
just
to,
saying,
you're gonna get to get off my lawn on every one of these.
I can't wait
I'll get off my.
I can't wait to watch this back in my natural expression to him saying
That was a good
like,
one. It was a good one.
What? Hold on
I'm a
second.
purist. I'm a purist, Zach. I'm a purist. You know that about me.
We all know that 78's like Sean said, it's a perfect movie. It is, to me, the greatest horror movie of all time. And I like classic films too. I like a lot of Hitchcock stuff. It's the greatest horror movie to me ever because the realness of it. You know, I think a horror movie is as good as the sum of its parts, right? So like I think for me to have this situation where, and especially I can't imagine watching this film live in 78 and like not being horrified to go home. You know, well, yeah,
I did.
We're old.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, for me, you know, to see this and like, I can imagine watching it then because it's just a dude, man. There's nothing supernatural about him. There's nothing, you know, and it's just a face. It isn't this burned up thing. It isn't the hockey mask that this kid I played JV hockey with is wearing. You know what I mean? Like it's just a face, and it's the scariest thing I've ever seen. So, you know, again, a perfect movie, man. You know, it's.
What was the format you saw it on? Was it on
VHS?
Was it on cable? It was on VHS.
Yeah.
Okay. Which adds a whole nother element to it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
I think
back in the
VHS
day.
makes anything more creepy. So
Yeah.
And I still have the VHS, and I'll have another VHS that I'll talk about when we get to that movie, and depending on where it is in each of our in our categories. I'm interested to see how close we are.
Yeah, I'm curious what was the first Halloween you saw in the theater?
First Halloween I saw in the theater was 4.
4. Okay. And how old are you?
When did it come out? 80.
It's 88. No.
88. I was 5.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then saw all the rest of them in the theater.
Okay. I saw all of them in the theater. You too, Chris, probably?
Yeah.
He didn't like 4 through 11.
I never.
Well,
hold on. I'll get to that. We'll get to that.
All right. We should probably move on to the next one because I got a feeling this is going to take a while.
So we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
All right.
We started the ranking. Here we go for all the audience.
So who's going?
We started it. Zach went first. His first is 70. Everyone's is 78.
Yeah.
That's a given. We all know.
Nobody really went first because we all kind of just.
We all just knew. Yeah.
We assume.
So who's going first for their second favorite?
I'm going to give this to Chris.
I'll go.
Chris.
My second favorite of all of them?
Yes.
I'm going to go. It's a toss-up.
No, you can't have a toss-up. You have to pick
I'm
one.
not going to. It's got to be.
How are you thinking about this? You have this shit written down already, bro. Come on.
I don't write
It's
shit
tough
down.
because I'm looking at my list too and going,
Yeah.
The only
don't
one
write
I'm
shit down.
flip-flopping on is my last one.
Oh.
I've been flip-flopping on. Everything else
I know. That's one thing I know for sure is what I hate.
Okay. All right.
I know what I hate. I know what I don't like.
Yeah.
But
100%.
it's what I like is okay. So I'm gonna go part to Halloween 2 for number 2.
1981 Halloween 2.
1981 Halloween 2. My second is also Halloween 2, 1981.
My second is Halloween 2 from 1981.
Hey!
And I got to say this. Halloween 2 for me actually has a more special place in my heart than part 1. Now, part 1's a better film. Part 1's a better film. Halloween 2 was a better experience. And I think today as an adult, I enjoy watching part 2 more than part 1, mainly because it takes me back to that experience. I saw part 1 out of the back window of my parents' car in a drive-in with no sound. That was my first experience of seeing it at the theater.
Almost scarier.
Yeah, it was. Part 2 my Aunt Robin took me to an opening night double feature, Halloween 2 and The Funhouse. Two of my all-time favorite films. I was so pumped seeing those two films for the first time on the same night. And then I went and saw it again. I went into another theater like a week or two later and saw it in a double feature with American Werewolf in London. First time.
Oh, wow.
So every time I saw Halloween 2, it was just a fucking magical night. So I just love that movie.
I'm with you on that. Obviously not as good a film as the first one, but it gave you kind of more of what I wanted. I wanted more Michael Myers, and it gave you that.
It gave you more of the night he came home.
It gave me more of that night, and it had boobies in it, and it had
the shoots.
Shoots. But I think also too, I didn't mind how different it looked than the first one. As far as how Myers looked. And that, I didn't mind that. I kind of liked it. And I actually think it fit. And actually going back to the 2018 mask, I actually really tried to make it flip-flop between a little bit of the first one and the second one. Like I really tried to kind of give you a vibe of those both because they mean a lot to me. And I remember lying on the couch watching Schiller Theater, and I fell asleep, and it was probably about 1 a.m, and I woke up to a Halloween 2 commercial. And it's the shot of him walking down the stairs really robotically, looking straight ahead, not looking down the stairs. And I remember waking up kind of in a fever dream, seeing that and going, and then it said Halloween 2. And I went, what? They made another one? What the fuck? And I lost my mind, and I was there. Like as soon as it came out, I saw it, and it was so great. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's got its faults, but I thought it's got a vibe to it.
It's definitely classic horror movie vibe. There's a hospital, there's nurses. Like it felt like it had a little bit of that kind of horror cheese like that you need. You know what I mean? For a classic, 80s whatever slasher film, if you want to say that. But I'll say this, the cinematically, I didn't realize it was different obviously until I was much older. And then I didn't really realize the mask until I was much older either. So I was probably 18 when I watched it again, and I was like, oh wow, the mask does look different. And then come to find out years later when all the documentaries and all those things start coming out, it's the same mask, just Dick Warlock underneath. So it's like a completely it just fits differently.
Yeah. Okay, so my third favorite Halloween movie is.
I like how we're all. I'm adding a little anticipation here.
Yeah.
I like how we're all like, what's good?
I'm ready. Yeah.
What's it gonna say? Because now it's gonna start getting. Rough.
I gotta say that when I first saw this movie, I was extremely disappointed. But then it turned into one of my all-time favorite films, and that's Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
All right.
My Aunt Robin also took me to this movie, and I think I told Chris the story before where I was like nudging her going, did we come in the right movie? Because where is Michael Myers? And I was freaking out thinking maybe we walked in the wrong movie. And I was pissed. I left the movie pissed. Like, what the fuck was that? I paid to see a Michael Myers film. There's no Michael Myers. And, and just like most Halloween fans, they were angry. But then when you go back.
I love as a kid, you're like, you're pulling the get off my lawn thing. Yeah. You're like, I paid for a Michael Myers movie.
True story, though.
Mowed 8 lawns.
I did the same. So, this is VHS days. Like I said, I watched 4 and then I watched 1 and then I was all in, right? So I watched 1, then I watched 2, and then I watched 3. 30 minutes in, I remember at my parents' old house taking the VHS out.
Looking at it.
Sure I was watching the right movie. I was like, the music's different. And like, he hasn't even shown up. They haven't even talked about him.
Somebody put a fucking label on this other tape. I don't know what movie this is.
I was like, I'm like 10 years old. Like, I'm going to burn fucking Blockbuster down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
They haven't even talked about him.
Yeah.
They haven't even talked about him.
They haven't even mentioned this dude yet.
They mock you by showing him on a commercial in the bar.
On a commercial. This dude just killed a hospital full of people. Why aren't we talking about it?
Yeah.
I'm a 3 as well. I'm probably one of the fewest people on the planet that wasn't disappointed when I saw part 3. I saw it in the theater when it came out. I kind of already knew the deal because of Fangoria and whatnot. And I wasn't disappointed that Michael Myers wasn't in it. I loved it. I thought it had a super cool, weird vibe. The score was really cool. I loved the masks, and I was a big Don Post fan, and Tom Atkins I love, and it was just so. It's really so bizarre, and I actually didn't even mind the ridiculousness of the little crumbs of Stonehenge that are in each chip and stuff like that. You know, like I thought it was super cool and a really good way to go. And I've always liked that movie. There was never a time where I was like, no, that movie sucks. Like I just really,
Well,
I dig it.
I will say that I started championing this movie years ago. Like I rediscovered it like in the early 90s. And I was like, no, this movie's great. And for years I've been fighting with Halloween fans. Oh, that shit, fucking Michael Myers ain't it. I'm like, watch it. It's a great movie. And now it's suddenly, you know, beloved. You know,
it's a
got a
great,
big
it
resurgence.
is a great scary movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Like for me, again, when I was a kid, I was like, I was kind of like, like I'm not, like it wasn't even on the list for me when I was a kid. And then when I got older, you know, our security guy would always talk about Halloween 3. Just almost like I think he was doing it just to mess with me because Michael Myers is. He's like, oh, that's the best one. That's the best one. And so like we would watch it on the bus, and I'd be like, man, this is a really good scary movie. But it's not my third. It is not.
It's not your.
What is your third?
I love that you guys are going. I feel like one of you is almost going to go chronologically here. You're getting a little. You're scaring me. 1, 2, 3 in a row. Maya, you ready for the hot take? These two movies. I'm only going to say the next one, the third one for me, but the neck and neck with each other. Ready for the hot take to blow the old people's mind that they're going to get mad at me. Halloween 2018 is my third. With its flaws.
I'm not good with that choice.
Listen,
I'm good with it.
We're going to have some choices we're not okay with. With its, you know, I've discussed my flaws with you, Sean, and I've discussed my flaws with Chris after knowing him for 5 minutes. Going, listen, a doctor cannot drag a man with one arm into a car. It's physically impossible.
Yeah.
And, you know, there were some pacing things in it for me that I wasn't. The walk back to stab the lady in the back of the head and slam her head in the house, the first real kind of, you know, the first real Halloween night kill that you see. There were some things I didn't, but honestly, I watched it a couple times before I made my realization that on its own, and I said this to the 3 people I went to go see the movie with, one being John, our security guy. I was like, if this was the last one, because I think we all have this innate thing inside of us, right? Where we're like, we want it to be done because we don't want them to mess up the series anymore, right?
Right.
But at the same time, us 3, I know for a fact, want to keep seeing Michael Myers.
Yeah.
We'll never see enough of Michael Myers in any incarnation. So that part of me going, I literally walked out of the movie and said, if this is the last movie they make, I'll be happy. And that was a big thing for me to say because I always want to see more Michael Myers. And I was like, man, if they ended it right here, I could be good. Like, I would be like, I'm satisfied. I thought it was a great film. I thought James played the character well. Thought all the other acting was well. You know, there are a couple hokey characters in there, but as a whole, man, that's number 3 for me. I mean, and when I say by a nose hair, Sean's upset with my decision about this.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not at all. I'm not at all.
All right,
We're on 4.
We're on number 4. Go
in
ahead.
the ranking.
Go ahead, Zach.
ranking.
You do.
Go ahead,
What's
Zach.
your number 4?
another hot take. Curse.
Curse.
Yeah.
Curse.
Now, do you have a preference on version, theatrical or producer's cut?
Producer's cut, which
Really?
is, by the way, I was going to bring up the other VHS that I still have from when I bought it off eBay 20-something years ago. Still have the original VHS bootleg producer's cut that I bought. I get in the lineage of it as a person in the arc of the original. It was weird. It was weird to not have Danielle play her character.
Yeah.
A lot of weird things, but the other side of me, the one side being I don't like gore and I like shadows and I like suspense and I like those things. Seeing him just be fucking brutal And like the honestly too, the cinematography on that film is amazing. The lightning, like there's still times at 37 years old, I watch that film and still see him in places that I didn't see him the first 100 times I watched the movie. You know what I mean? With all the lightning and all that stuff. And the soundtrack was good. I remember that Brother Kane did like 2 of the songs on the soundtrack that I really liked. And years later, I got to play with Brother Kane. So
yeah. I wasn't a fan of Alan Howarth's metal guitar version of Halloween, though.
That was in 5 too. It was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man, we're gonna piss some people off during this. I love it.
That's the point. That's the point.
I mean,
that's the point.
For me, it was a brutal movie, man, and I really enjoyed. Could some of the acting been better? Of course. But I really kind of enjoyed the lineage. I have the thorn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do.
Tattooed on my arm. So yeah, that's it for me. That was my number 4. I'm sticking to it. Give me all your shit.
Piggy D has that same, Piggy D from Rob Zombie's
Thorn,
band.
yeah.
He has it also.
Yeah. We toured with them forever ago, and we both had it. We talked about it and all that.
My number 4 is Halloween 2018.
I knew it.
I knew it.
I knew it. I knew it.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. And and this goes. Well, I'll get it. I'll have another reason why once I start getting into the other movies, but I gotta say 2018 because I think it's a superior film to all the other ones, cinematically, the plausibility and the filmmaking aspect, and technically and story wise. Yes, there are issues with it. I agree with the Sartain thing and little things here and there. We talked about this. It's not without its flaws, but overall, give me a freaking break. You can't tell me that all those other Halloween sequels are any better than 2018. You can't even.
Number 3 for me. Number 3.
Yeah,
for me.
So I'm with you can't even.
I guess I can tell you.
Just stop it, because
I have a feeling he's gonna tell you.
He's gonna tell me, because let me tell. Because I think for me, one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of like Curse and Return and all that stuff is because it felt to me like I was such a diehard Michael Myers Halloween fan, and John Carpenter, and that whole vibe of it, is that I felt like after that, you're just chasing a dragon. You know what I mean? You're chasing this dragon that you're never gonna, you want it so bad. It's like a drinking or a drug addict or whatever. It's like you get that first taste and it's so good, and then it's never the same. It's never going to be that good, but you hope that it will, and you're hoping that maybe there's a slight crumb of a chance that you'll walk in and go, yes, I got that taste again. And it's never, and then, so I think for me, it just never, ever delivered ever again until 2018, where I was, obviously I'm biased because I worked on it, but I think there's extracting myself from it. I think it's good. It's a good movie, and it's got that vibe, and it put back a lot of things that were lacking for all those sequels tenfold. So I'm sticking with 2018 in my number 4. Sean, let's hear it.
Halloween 4.
So I totally get what you're saying in regards to getting a little taste of having that feeling back, and I got it in 1988 with Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers.
I knew it was 4.
I knew it was coming.
Now, mind you, I was very disappointed in the.
It was funny. 4 is everybody's 4.
Except
for mine.
Here's again, it has a lot to do with the feeling of. Dude, I mean, we had waited, for a Michael Myers movie, we had waited 7 years. And I remember going to the Highway 39 drive-in on Beach Boulevard with my buddy Kenny, and we saw a double feature of Halloween 4 and Hellraiser 2. And I mean, it was just a fucking great night.
Well, one of those films is better than the other.
Yeah.
And Hellraiser 2 is the better film.
Oh, God, come on.
Hellraiser 2 is better than Halloween 4. I think so.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But we're not ranking Hellraiser movies here. We're
not.
That will be so you'll have a different guest on that one.
Yeah. So Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, I'm going with that. I mean, Loomis was back, but I thought it was a good Halloween sequel.
It's a good Halloween movie.
And there we go.
That was this guy.
Well,
Part
for
four.
part of them.
For part of it.
Part of it,
Let's
yeah.
get into that. Okay.
Let's talk about the openings too. If we're going to bring up 4 had a decent.
Oh,
opening,
dude, the opening credits
Halloween,
is beautiful. All the shots of
Yeah.
the farms and the
even though it did look like
yeah.
Salt Lake City, it did look
Because it
like
was
Utah.
Very much look like. Here's the thing: when I was young watching it, and probably Sean, you too. Like I wasn't looking at that like Salt Lake City, but now as an adult, I watch it and having toured around the world, I'm like, where are we? Where did those mountains come from?
I was always like, as soon as 4 started and I saw the opening of 4, I was like, that's not Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are we now?
No offense. I mean, he's a sweet guy. Hands down, my least favorite Myers is George Wilbur. I mean,
Yeah.
And the only time he looks good is when it's not George Wilbur, when it's Tom Morga. The scenes with Tom Morga, the bandage part, and the scene in the Meeker house where he slams Kathleen Kinmont against the wall. That's all Tom Morga. He didn't have the pads where he looks like this. And that was my same issue with part 6. Wilbur was too fat at that point. He was.
Yeah.
And he looked chubby. And so when A. Michael Lerner replaced him in all the added scenes, he looked great in the costume.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that when we get to those movies. But part 4 is my number 4.
Number 5, I'm gonna go with 5.
Wow.
I'm going with 5.
That's a hot take too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm going
that's
Revenge.
a curveball I didn't see coming. Really?
It is.
Have you thought about? Have you written these down? Are you gonna go?
Should I go grab the 5 mask?
No, don't go get
The Don Shanks turtleneck mask?
That's the Birdman, right?
Yeah.
I call him the Birdman Myers.
Yeah.
I think because it's a terrible movie. See, this is where you're gonna start losing
Well, that's
me
the
because
thing.
He's just scrambling.
These are-
Hey, once he got
like-
past 2018, he's just scrambling eggs at this point.
I
It's
really
all
am.
the same, dude.
4, 5, 6 to me is one blurry piece of garbage. Like it really is. Like I'm just. always
That's
like,
the
man.
one you pull out of the trash is 5.
But
5.
they're all the same. I'll tell you. Here's what I do like about 5 too. I love the opening of 5. I love the carving pumpkin, close-up slashing pumpkin thing because that was fucking cool. Where you see the
was
blades
cool.
going through the pumpkin and the guts, and it looked like it was all organic and very orange and very had the night. Like it's a great opening. I think it's also 5 because. For me, horror and film, one thing that will redeem something is the comedy factor of it. And the comedy factor of 5 is fucking hilarious. The fact that the moment that he crawls out of the cave and gets into the river and kind of works his way around and is like starts floating down the river, I'm losing my mind laughing. Like I can't stand how fucking funny that was. There's so much funny shit.
The cop comedy relief too, with all the whoever the Foley artist was on that movie.
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
doing all the sound.
That one.
All clear. Nothing above, nothing below.
That one ranks not because it's a good film or I necessarily really love it. There are a couple elements that I do love, but the comedy of it. And every time you see Michael Myers is fucking hilarious because you're going, what is that? It looked like someone's Jewish grandmother or something. I don't know what it was. I'm like,
like he had just gotten out of the shower.
Totally, like he looks like a wet paper bag. It's so great. Anyway,
and you're just intrigued by the Man in Black. That's really the.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, no.
Well, okay.
That was a selling moment.
I'm not a fan of that whole thing. I'm not
storyline.
A fan of the Thorn Man in Black cult thing. That's another thing about this where we're getting into now. Sucked me so far out of that world, like I was done. Like I'm so far away from Haddonfield and what Michael Myers
Which is why I'm shocked that you picked this so high up in your rankings now.
That's what I do. I shock people, baby.
Well, I think what's going to happen is you're going to get to another movie and go, oh, I forgot about that one.
You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely
You can't
right.
do it now. You screwed yourself.
I know.
Zach, you're number 5.
Halloween 4 for me. Of 4 and 5, a way better movie. You know, you're talking about two bowls of food you really don't want to eat, but you got to pick one. You know?
Exactly.
So
That's my point.
To me, Halloween 4, the introduction of Jamie as a character, I thought was really good. I thought, especially in 4, she played that so well. You're never going to go wrong seeing Dr. Loomis. I wish was still around to be in all these movies. I felt like that was maybe the one thing I was. If 2018 had Loomis in it, maybe my second favorite movie of all time in this series. But I think 4, again, as I got older, I was like, this is clearly the Midwest and not Illinois. Like this is like mountains, and I'm seeing California license plates.
What are we in Denver? What the fuck's happening?
Yeah, like it was very strange to see the picturesque landscape of where we were. But I love the Jamie character. I love the Rachel character in that. I thought that was like a cool relationship that maybe helped that movie out a lot. Again, every movie has its flaws. There's lots of things I didn't love about that. Again, one being it didn't feel like Haddonfield, like you said. Like even if they didn't show the mountains, like the houses where we were, it just and maybe it could have been how it was shot. It did not feel like Haddonfield to me. That was my take on it. And the boyfriend's in 4, right?
Yeah, Sasha Jensen. Yeah, who plays what's Sasha's character's name? Brady, that's right. And the cops do it by the book shirt. That's So again, the rooftop scene. I think
awesome.
that the Kathleen Kinmont fireplace love scene alone is worth that ranking.
You ain't gotta argue with me on Kathleen Kinmont at all.
Yeah.
Even to present day.
So you haven't even picked part 4 yet, right, Chris?
No.
You just put part 5 before that. Okay. I just want to know where you are.
Hey man,
all right.
That's why we're here to make people upset, even ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe I did it on purpose. Maybe I did it on purpose.
Maybe you want hate mail. All right. My number 5. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Strap in. No, my number 5 is 2018.
There you go.
I mean, if I pushed it any further, I'd just never hear the end.
If you pushed it any further chronologically, I was like, you're just trying to make people happy now.
Wait, you picked number 4 over 2018.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I just want to get that straight.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Mask was better. That's why. But
street trash.
No, it was not.
But no, yeah, 2018 is probably a better film than Halloween 4, but I'm also ranking Halloween 4 in the vibe, that the feeling when I saw it, and the excitement, and Loomis was back, and
If Donald Pleasance wasn't in Halloween 4, does that change your ranking?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Donald Pleasance is the franchise on 4, 5, and 6 for sure.
Yeah.
Without him, they're total garbage. Yeah.
Okay. That was my question.
Yeah. And poor Ted Hollister. I mean, come on.
I love that you
Ted
just
Hollister.
said without him, they're total garbage.
Which is what Chris thinks. That's what Chris thinks with them.
I do. I think 4, 5, and 6 are total garbage.
I'll
go 4. I'm going to throw in a 4.
Wow.
He did that just to be. He was just trying to be like. He was trying to He's just startle us.
Because he knows he fucked up on picking 5 before, and now he's regretting it. So
that was for shock value.
I regret nothing. That was for comments, man. That was for shitty comments.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris works on these movies, and I love the fact that neither of the 3 of us are ever going to be getting invited back to set again.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I think out of 11 films, I think picking 2018 5th is pretty respectable.
I think very respectful, and for me, it was 3rd. So
yeah,
I'm getting invited back for sure. Any reason? What's your thoughts on 4, Chris?
Oh, I don't have any. I don't really have any. I think it's fine.
Same piece of shit as 5. Don't really care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all the same meal.
It's less
None of this
French.
matters.
It's less French than the other one.
That's right. It's all the same meal. I do love me some Donald Pleasance. Always have. Even out of Halloween series, I love Donald Pleasance. Always have. The Mask is better, for sure. I did like the idea of, he's all bandaged up and stuff, and they're wheeling him. There's some really, really super cheesy lines, especially when the guy goes, "Where are they in the hospital?" And
I know you're talking.
You know what I'm talking about? And the paramedic goes, "Jesus Christ," or something like that, and he goes,
"He has no place in here."
Jesus has no
Yeah,
personality.
yeah.
And they just have this awkward staring moment for right after he says it for a minute. And they're like,
The worst part of that whole opening is that same guy when they're in the elevator and it's like, hey, I'm going to give you a recap on what went down the last decade.
yeah,
You know, he killed him. You know, he killed his
In case you didn't hear,
Right.
in case you didn't hear all this.
In case you
Right.
haven't seen the sequel of the previous films, here's how we got here.
there are a lot of people falling into mine shafts around that time in movies. Like, what is the deal with that? Like, we can't think of anything. Put him he falls in a mine shaft or a well or some shit like that. You know,
We ran out of ideas. Put him in a mine shaft.
him in a
Also the thing too is the Jamie touching the hand.
Mm.
you mean the telepathic connection?
Yeah, the telepathic passing of the did
Yeah.
did she die?
I don't think she died.
Now
I
you
think-
know why this ranks a little later for me, because there's a fucking telepathic fucking horse
Well,
shit, and she touches
there
it, and
wasn't
she's
because-
screaming with no voice. She's
because
like,
they realized that they realized
Oh,
that
that's part
that's
five,
part
sorry.
5.
That's
They
part
realized that wasn't a good storyline, and they kind of
Oh, did
Just
they?
abandon it.
But that
That's
was
like
a-
it never happened. They mentioned it for 3 seconds.
right.
It's like, you know what? This was a horrible
It's
idea.
a bad idea. Let's just pull that chute. Let's just
Yeah.
pull the chute.
Halloween 3.
Yay!
Wow.
There you go. Halloween 3. Again, with 2018 and 6, very, very close. This 3 edged out my next one. But yeah, 3 as just as a good horror movie. You know, we've already talked about it enough. It's you know,
There was no Myers.
even with no Michael Myers. Again, you asked me this when I'm 15. That's not my answer. But as an adult, as a great horror movie, it's good. As a great Halloween movie, I don't know. All right, Sean, 6.
My number 6 is Halloween H2O. But I actually like the movie. I think it has some issues. I personally like the look of the Winston mask, which is
The Winston mask was okay.
which was the primary close-up shot mask. The KMB featureless one I didn't care for. The one scene where Nancy Stevens, Nurse Marion, gets her throat cut, which was the part 6 mask, which I actually own that mask in that scene. That mask I like. I like the part 6 mask. But I saw the movie. I went to the premiere. This is 1998, I think it was. I went to the premiere. As a Halloween fan, going to a premiere, I was fucking stoked, and it was packed. Janet Leigh was there, Jamie was there, everybody was there, and man, at the end when she cut the head off, the place went bonkers, man. I mean, and it was the feeling in there was electric. I got goosebumps, and I thought to myself as a Halloween fan, if this is how the series is going to end, that's how I want it to end, and I'm cool with it. Then they decided to really fuck it up. We'll get to that. So, yeah.
But that
Sometimes,
goes back,
Sean, when you give someone enough rope, they will hang all of us with it.
That's right.
And that's what
Exactly.
happened after that. That's what happened after that movie.
But
For
also,
me,
too, like talking about all these movies, there's talking about them as the films themselves, ranking them and stuff. But that if we're going to rank them about where we were at that time, was it a good vibe? Where you saw it? Who were you with?
No,
Did the theater smell like popcorn? Did it? I mean, that's a whole nother thing.
I'm
Where I could.
I'm
and
still
hence the
saying it's a
reason-
better movie. I'm still
Okay,
saying
well,
I'm
hence
still-
the reason why 5 for me was
you're
there
getting a
was this,
blowjob while you're
there-
watching it.
maybe. But it was a not a good film, but I was at a specific place, specific time, in a specific theater, and it was that's we can go into
Specific
that.
narcotic.
All right,
Very specific.
but moving on.
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh man, this is tough. I'm going.
Whoa!
Did you just get fucking body snatched?